It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the Pistons in Detroit. Looking at the Pistons, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball. Looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. So often we talk about players we'll get to see on the floor, but Shaq, you had a chance to speak with a player in tonight's game. You met up with DJ recently. Anything you want to share?
Ernie, I was so impressed. This guy has the temperament that all greats of the NBA have. He loves basketball, and he loves music. So do I. We talked about it for hours.
Wait, you were with DJ for hours?
I sure was.
And you ain't called me? You know that's like, DJ's one of my favorite players. I'd like to hang out with him just to see what it is. It's like that now?
What had happened was the phone had fell in the pool, and I didn't get a chance to replace it.
I had no idea he was such a big country music fan.
Oh, he loves it.
I think it's time to fold him right now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people already folded him.
The tallest building in Michigan, the Renaissance Center, part of the scenery tonight as we come to you live from Detroit. We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the New Orleans Pelicans come in for this one. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, and we'll be hearing from DA along the sideline all game long. So for the Pistons in this matchup, they got to be feeling pretty good as they won that last outing against the Pelicans.
Yeah, struggled to shoot the basketball in that game, but still found a way, if you will. I mean, they had to pick up the slack in a lot of other areas, and they did.
You're not going to be on all the time, and they were prepared for that and scraped and clawed their way to a victory.
Let's quickly get a pregame update from David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Alvin Gentry.
Well, Kevin, he said defensively their main priority is going to be preventing points in the paint. He told me we can't let them get comfortable inside. That's what'll hurt us. He wants them playing a very physical brand of D down low. See if they got the message. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Hey, Steve, we're here at the midway point of the season. You hear a lot about the rookie wall. Talk about why that is such an issue for these first-year guys.
It's not a myth. I mean, you haven't played this amount of games. And I think more importantly, people don't understand, you haven't played against this type of talent in practice. So practice is wearing you down. And then you get a chance to go up against the best of the best for 82 games. You play about 30 in college. Yes, that rookie wall starts to hit you around January.
So Detroit will get the first possession. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So for New Orleans right now, Hill and Davis are the forwards. Allen is out there with the doctor, and it's Cousins in at the 5 down low. Now here's Cousins. The doctor passes to Davis. And that one, good. Davis has got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Pelicans. Bradley dishes to Jackson. There's 3-pointers off the mark. And here are the Pelicans now. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And sometimes in that hostile environment, it is hard to stay true to who you are. But give them credit, they did, especially on offense.
Well, they came in with a strong game plan, made adjustments when they needed to, and kept the crowd out of their heads.
There's the dish to Lure. Harris outside. They get a hand on it, and stolen by Cousins. And they're on the break. Here's Hill. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Harris.
Clearly a foul.
New Orleans shooting their first free throws of the game.
Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Bad Boy Pistons, perhaps the greatest group this franchise has put together, and also one of the most memorable in the history of the NBA. Smitty, you played against some of those guys. What was that like?
Well, first of all, Kevin, I got a chance to grow up in Detroit, watching these guys, being around them, being able to practice. I mean, they were a total tight group. They had some great characters in Lambeer and Rodman and Sally and Dumars and Isaiah and the microwave, but they played extremely hard, and obviously the style of play was defense, rebound, and put you on your butt.
Now here's Bradley. His last outing, he had 8 points. Marjanovic kicks to Lure. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Pistons on defense. 4-point game. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, you know, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
Fatigue comes into play when games go into overtime, and you saw they just had no gas left in the tank in that loss.
And that's a foul called on the doctor. That's his first foul. And so it's Detroit with the ball. Nothing yet up on the scoreboard for them. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
You love the balance from Reggie Jackson, generating more power in the catch and shoot.
Here's the doctor, guarded by Jackson. Whistle blows, if that's going to be a travel. It's now to take a look at the steal numbers over the last couple months, the scope of that for Bradley.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back some of that fire on D.
Detroit's gone, just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Jackson kicks to Harris. To the wing on the left. And Lure wide open. He shoots it. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Lure's got himself on the board with 3 there. Here's the doctor, guarded by Jackson. And the rejection by Marjanovic.
You know, the offense has just looked out of sync. Only 1 of 5 from the field.
And that's a foul called on the doctor. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Already his second foul here in the first makes it a tough decision whether to leave him in or not.
Rajon Rondo's checked in for New Orleans. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Pelicans trail by 3. On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Tony Allen is out there with Davis. Then there's Ian Clark. Then there's the doctor. And it's Ajinça in at the center, filling out the middle. Here's the doctor. He had 28 points in the win against Brooklyn.
You know what? I also like how he attacked the glass, gave a terrific effort in that department. A terrific offensive rebounder. Here he is doing it again.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, the doctor in the last game against the Nets played superb basketball. He ended with 28 points and was diming everybody up with an incredible assist game, setting up his teammates all night long. It was a great performance. And talking to his teammates, they all hope it's a sign of bigger things to come. We'll see how he progresses tonight, Kevin.
Thanks, David, for another reminder of just what an unbelievable performance that was.
One that everyone's still talking about tonight. He dominated that game in just about every way possible.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what he's got in store for us tonight. Maybe he tops himself again. I think he just might do it.
And he uses the glass on the layup.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Dishes it to Galloway. Pass to Marjanovic. That one misses. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. A rebound by Marjanovic. Detroit's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. The Pelicans trail. Greg from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
Clock at 2. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw of the night here.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
Here's the doctor. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. And he recovers it. Trying to find Ajinça. Gets it to him. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Taking a look at some numbers for Marjanovic. Over the last 10 games or so, he's really shown up. He's putting up 13 points a game, 10 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And not many players possess his kind of ability to protect the rim. I mean, you look at the block total, pretty remarkable.
All shots he's changed just by challenging them. Such a luxury to have someone like this as your last line of defense.
And he can't hit the second. And you love to watch the players attack the rack. Everybody does. Smitty, who do you think are some of the best slashers right now in the NBA?
I think DeMar DeRozan, he does a great job of playing without the basketball. You see LeBron James, he has it in his hands, but when Kyrie has it, you see he slashes. Antetokounmpo, Andrew Wiggins. Those are some of the guys that are the best in the business without the basketball.
Fun to watch him, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
New Orleans making a switch here. Cousins is checked in.
Sharing the basketball. Plenty of guys talk about it, but not everyone does it.
Pelicans trail by 6. Screen by Cousins. Here's Allen. Bank shot, no good. Detroit with the ball. They're on a 14-5 run here. Galloway, the pass to Smith. The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Kennard. Defended by Allen. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Out to the right wing. From past the arc. Drills it from outside. Lure's got 11 points.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Pelicans trail by 9. Here's the Doctor. Banked in off the glass. 6 points for him.
Taking a workmanlike approach inside. That's the shot you want.
Galloway kicks to Marjanovic. Here's Smith, and the dunk by Smith.
And you see the little guy get up there. Is showing off. Wow.
The Pelicans have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Kicks it out to Allen. There's the pass to the Doctor. Stolen by Lure. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. He kicks to Galloway. Back to Lure. In the corner, Smith with it. Pass to Marjanovic. Over in the corner. Lure kicks to Galloway. Smith on the wing. To the paint. Here's Marjanovic. Poked loose. And stolen by Cousins. Here's the Doctor. And it's blocked. Davis with the bucket. Here's Galloway. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Kennard. Defended by Allen. Here's Lure. And he can extend the lead to double digits. Pelicans trail by 7. Down low. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Now let's take a look at the top rookies in the league. Our rankings here for the race for Rookie of the Year. Distinction every young player would love to have. Well, you look at the Doctor. He's just not quite in the running at this point. And while he's had a pretty good season, it doesn't look like he'll be a contender.
And you can't give him anything but major credit for what he's been able to do here in his rookie season.
No doubt. It's a talented draft class this year, so it's been hard for him to move up the rankings. But his future, it's bright.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Pistons leading by 5. Over in the corner. Lure. Off target with his 3. The Pelicans shooting 38% in the second quarter. Offensively, they look a little bit confused. The Doctor. Foul called that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. And the first one drops. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
5 on the clock and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And New Orleans gets called for the foul.
And the defender there a little out of position. Harris sees this, takes advantage, draws the foul.
And Harris drops them both. And Tobias Harris, the former Tennessee Volunteer. You would think a player who has been so efficient, Steve, on offense his whole career wouldn't have bounced around as much as he has.
It is surprising how much he's changed teams. Always a factor on offense, and he doesn't need many touches. If I'm a coach, I love to have him as an option.
Pelicans trail by 5. The Doctor passes to Allen. Here's the Doctor. 8 points for him. Screen by Cousins. It's off the screen. Allen's shot is off. Detroit's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Here's Lure. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Right wing. Here's the Doctor. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. 10 points for the Doctor.
It's amazing. He is on fire here in the second period after going scoreless in the first.
Jackson kicks to Marjanovic. Back to Jackson. And the layup's good off the glass. Jackson's got 8 points.
The defense having to respect Jackson's outside game. That opened up things for him in the inside.
That shot is off. The Pistons go the other way with it. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed.
Pistons leading by 5. Jackson is doubled. Harris outside. A second chance effort. Now on the play, basket down, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Strong move at the rim. Overpowers the smaller defender.
For Detroit, they have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any. And so many great Pistons over the years. You think back to the bad boy era and all throughout the great history of this franchise. Smitty, you grew up in the area. Was there a Piston you modeled your game after growing up?
Yeah, there were. There was 2 guys, and Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. You could see the impact both these players had on both ends of the floor. They were interchangeable. They both can handle, can shoot. And what I love is the chemistry they had between those 2, and they are good friends of mine.
And the basket by Johnson.
Good open look. Avery looking poised with the ball in his hands, making decisions.
To the middle, the Doctor passes to Cousins. Outside Jackson, and he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And just a top-notch free throw shooter this year, all the way up there at 88%.
Feeds to Cousins. To the wing right side. Out to the right wing. The Doctor. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
Well, this whole period for him, it's been challenging. You can tell he's starting to press. Well, he was in rhythm, hitting 2 threes in the opening quarter, but hasn't made one since.
Moore outside, and it's Rondo in the corner. It's back to Hill. Cousins with a screen on Johnson. Here's Moore. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Moore's got his first points of the night.
The beauty of the teardrop, very difficult to really contest.
And so is Detroit with a 10-point.
Thank you, Kevin. Another quick start here in this first half. What has been the key the last few games?
I'm going to give you a key. I'm going to give you a major key. The key is I noticed a trend. Pretty much anytime we play a game on a day that ends with a Y, then I'm going to have a good game. You know what I'm saying? So that's my own personal brand of advanced analytics. So you can expect these types of games for the rest of the season unless something changes with the calendar. I don't know.
Now, you're aware the calendar does change every month, right? Kevin, back to you.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime. And now the third quarter. About to get going. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
And I love the game plan in that first half. They really valued each possession.
You know what? It's hard to do. Staying focused and disciplined with your approach.
Jackson and Bradley are in the backcourt. Marjanovic is out there with John Lewis. And it's Harris in at the small forward. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Hangs in the air. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Davis.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Lure sets the pick for Jackson. Steps back and fires. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Jackson's got 15.
And you're seeing it with Jackson tonight. When he gets in a real rhythm, man, he can light up the scoreboard. I like the aggressive move on the layup attempt, but the defender, he just stayed right with him.
Pass to Lure. He feeds it to Harris. Bradley kicks to Marjanovic. Outside for Jackson. Hands it from downtown. And now an 11-point Piston lead.
I like what he's given them tonight. Efficient offense that's helped fuel this lead.
For New Orleans, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Passes to the doctor. Inside, here's Cousins. And it goes for the 5th time, and 10 shots for him this game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
You know, when you see a Stan Van Gundy team, you know that defense will be a key for them. He has handpicked his players here in Detroit. It's one of Van Gundy's trademarks, as well as what the Pistons franchise has been known for.
Here's Davis, and it's slammed in by Davis.
Oh, power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Back to Jackson. Davis against Lure. The feed to Harris. Jackson from long range. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got his 8th rebound here tonight. And Smitty, you actually played under Stan Van Gundy when you were with the Heat. What was it like playing for him as a coach?
Well, he demands a lot from you, but he's fair. He's a great X and O coach. But the one thing about Stan you have to get used to is all the screaming.
Pistons passing it around. Harris kicks to Bradley. Jackson from long range. Again, the miss by Jackson. Outside, Davis. Rebounded by the Pistons. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Harris dishes to Jackson. Outside, Bradley. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
You know, I like the competitive fire, but he's still really out of sync.
Outside Jackson. He dishes it to Lure. Marjanovic, a screen on Hill. Harris kicks to Lure. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Harris has got 3 assists tonight.
I'll tell you, even though he's a question mark from range, you still have to defend him.
Here's the doctor. And the shot is long.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
Jackson in the corner. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Pelicans trailed by 8. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Puts it up from 17. Again, the miss by Jackson.
I mean, the mid-range jump shot, a lot of guys have a hard time knocking it down.
An even 3-on-3 break. From the baseline. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
And it's blocked by Bradley. Outside Jackson. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. And Reggie Jackson, the Boston College Eagle, when he is on the floor, you can see how he acts as a spark plug for his team. Steve, a very creative player whose big strength is getting things going on offense.
And wherever Reggie's been, he's been great in that role of catalyst. When he's injured, you can see how the offense changes. Very underrated as a playmaker in this league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Kennard, he's checked in for Marjanovic. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Avery Bradley. The Pistons making a change here. Smith is checked in. Here's the doctor. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And the way we have kind of a positionless game now, Smitty, there is no part of the court, any part of the court, which not one person cannot go to. A point guard can play any place. The big can go outside like you just talked about.
You're totally right. And now you've seen bigs shooting 2 or 3 feet behind the three-point line. And a lot of point guards starting to post up. It is definitely positionless basketball that we're seeing right now.
But fun to watch. Seeing those bigs shoot like that, wow, fun to watch.
And every offensive board is an extra possession. If you're trying to compete from this far down, you cannot allow that.
You know, I wonder, where's the passion? You can't afford a no-show here on the defensive glass.
And stolen by Harris. Here's Galloway, guarded by Holiday. Smith kicks to Galloway. On the wing, Harris. He's guarded by Cousins. Lure sets the pick for Smith. 3 on the clock. The shot, no good. Pelicans trail by 12. Wells in the corner. Fades and shoots. Rebounded by the Pistons. Harris has got 3 rebounds now in this one. The drive by Smith. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got 11 rebounds in the game. No good from the doctor.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset.
Here's Kennard. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Smith outside. Now the pass to Kennard. Lure the screen. 4 on the clock. Here's Galloway. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Pelicans trail by 12. Pass to the doctor. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Cousins has got 3 assists now in this one.
This is what your spacing is designed to do. Find cracks in the defense.
Smith the pass to Lure. Drills the three-pointer. Lure's got 22 points.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
Here's Galloway, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. And the Pistons lead by 15.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
But they recover it. Here's the doctor, and the 3 off target.
You know, he really is forcing it right now. This has been a frustrating night for him.
Smith with it, now defended by the doctor. Galloway dishes to Harris. Over Holiday, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. That's 10 points for Tobias Harris. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
And Cousins lives at the line, just applies tremendous pressure on the defense.
And so DeMarcus Cousins nails both of them. Here's Galloway. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. The dish now to Johnson. Back to Galloway. That one falls coming off Johnson's feet. Galloway has got 5 points now this quarter.
And the point differential tells the story. Their two-way play has been outstanding.
You know, it's a matter of effort plus talent. You need both to dominate this way. Bad communication defensively. This is the last guy you want to leave open from there.
Dishes it to Harris. They set the pick. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for New Orleans.
Look, they've been aggressive looking to get inside, but they haven't finished especially well when they get there. I like the attack mentality, but you have got to finish plays.
Here's the doctor. He's got 18. Lays it up off the glass. The doctor's got 10 points here in the second half.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
And that's a foul called in the doctor. That's it for him. He's fouled out of the game.
And guys, at this point, he's...